you've had an awesome Monday. It's Monday. It's been a crazy one, but I love Mondays. I hope you guys do too. You know the reasons I love Mondays. If you watch my page at all, you know I love Mondays because it's the start of a new week that you get to determine the outcome, or you get to determine the mood and the mindset going into the brand new week. I love Mondays. Even though it's nuts at work, I still love Mondays. Hey Patrice, how are you? Guys, I'm fixing to show you the most awesome lasagna. I love this lasagna. I've made lasagna a lot of different ways. I love zucchini noodles. Y'all know that. I love zucchini ziti's. I love zucchini, but this recipe has no zoodles, no zucchini. It's not a green lasagna. It's a real looking lasagna. I absolutely love this recipe. So if you're interested in an awesome lasagna recipe, make sure you give me some hearts and share this video. Hey Nicole, how are you? Hey Pam, I see Michelle on here. What are y'all doing for dinner tonight? I'm just curious what you're doing for dinner tonight. That's low carb, keto friendly. I haven't been on Facebook today other than to answer a couple of questions when I had a break here and there. I'm going to show you how I make my 3 layers, because I've got 3 layers of this zucchini that is so super easy and delicious. Let me pour this grease out of my ground beef. Now I'm actually doubling the recipe. Last time I made it with 1 pound of ground beef, and it was so good. So I'm making it with 2 pounds of ground beef. So I'm going to be doubling everything. Wanda says, hello. Marcy's doing pork, steak, and asparagus. As always, it's delicious. Pam says, howdy, made the Where's the Crust pizza. I hope you liked it. I thought it was good. My husband thought it was good. He ate almost a whole 9x13 pan, but it's not my favorite pizza recipe. What are you doing, Missy? Who's that?
No, hurry up.
Boy, hush. Family is having ranch chops. She's fasting. Yes, those ranch chops are good. And congratulations, Kimberly. You keep on going. All right. So what is everyone else doing for dinner tonight? If you're interested in lasagna, you might not want to watch this, Kimberly, because it's so yummy. But share it so that you can come back and look at it later. Or stay on. I'm excited to see how you're doing with your fast. So all we've done so far is brown and ground. I already bought it ground beef. We browned and drained ground beef. And I'm going to turn this eye off because it's hot and it's going to be hot in my face. All right, so I'm going to show you how I make my 3 layers of the lasagna. It's super easy and delicious. Oh yes, Nicole is doing a crustless pizza in the air fryer. That sounds awesome. Hey Lisa. Patrice says she's been wanting to try a lasagna recipe. So this is, Ricky just hit my butt. So this is perfect for you tonight then, Patrice. Okay, so 3 layers. My first one is the noodle. So we're making our noodles. We're not using regular lasagna noodles. We're not using zucchini. It's super easy and delicious. We're gonna start off, Ricky's giving him a snack. We're gonna start off with some softened cream cheese. So I just got home from work. I didn't have time to let this sit and get soft, so I did nook it in the microwave for just a couple of seconds, about 20 seconds. It's a half a block. So 4 ounces of cream cheese. Now I already have one of these bread layers in the oven, so I'm going to show you how super easy this is. It really is delicious, and I've used this recipe in my breakfast casseroles too, this actual noodle recipe, except I used it as a topping bread for sausage cream cheese. So yummy. All right, so we've got 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. I'm going to stir it around just a second and get it cooled off in a minute. So I did nook it. All right, we're going to do 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. So 1.5 cups mozzarella. And the first question I know people are going to ask me is, does this taste eggy? And the answer is no. It does not taste eggy. No. Yeah. My husband's aggravating. So we're doing 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. And I am going to post a recipe that I kind of got my inspiration from on this. I do it different. So I'm going to share it with you. I think I just did 1.5. I just did 1. Let me add a 1/2 cup. I'm going to share that recipe with you to show you where I got my inspiration. I am doing it a little different, but you can use the recipe and I'm sure it would be delicious. So 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of mozzarella. We're going to do a teaspoon of Italian. And 2 eggs. And it does not taste eggy to me at all. 1. Now, if you want to get a hand mixer out, you can. If you want to put a food processor together, you can. I'm just using a fork. We're just going to mix it up really good with a fork. I have a baking sheet, or you can use a 9x13 baking dish with some parchment paper. You don't want this to stick, so line a baking dish or parchment or a 9x13. And we're just going to mix this together. So it looks really good already. It smells good already because I got that Italian seasoning in here. I've got my oven on 350. Now, if the cream cheese is really soft, you can mix this really easy with a fork. If you want to use a processor, go for it. I just don't want to clean anything up that's not necessary. I know I don't like to clean. My husband's already been doing the dishes behind me from last night, so I didn't do them last night. Gosh. All right, so this is the noodle layer. So we're going to take this parchment paper and we're just going to pour it out on the parchment paper. If I can find me a little clean space. Well, find me a clean space. We're just going to pour this. I'll show you how to do it in a second. 9 by 13 or a small baking dish, lined pan with parchment paper, something that won't stick on.
Y'all watching The Bachelor tonight?
No, Bachelor's over. He picked and he did not fall in love. All right, now that we got this on our baking dish, whether you're using a lined parchment paper pan or a 9 by 13, we just want to make this really thin. Let me see if y'all can see this. We're going to do this really thin, and I'm trying to do it like in a square so that when it cooks, I can cut it into long strips of noodles. I'm telling you, delicious. 4 ounces of cream cheese, a cup and a half of mozzarella, a teaspoon of Italian, 2 eggs. That's it. Okay, we're just smoothing this out. We're going to get it as thin as we can. It makes about the size of a 9 by 13 baking dish, which is perfect because that's what I'm using to put my lasagna in, is a 9 by 13. It doesn't have to be perfect. This does not have to be perfect. I'm just getting it thin and squared. You don't have to have it squared if you don't want to. All right, looks pretty good to me. Let me get this out of the way. So first layer, it's ready to go in the oven. I got my oven on 350 and we're gonna cook it for about 20 minutes until it browns on the outside and it's not mushy. So as soon as it's firm, you're good. Let me go ahead and check on the other one. Ooh, it's looking good. So this is the first one. It's not done yet, but as you can see, it's baking. We're gonna get it brown around the edges and we wanna make sure it's firm, but not soft. Really thin is what we're looking for. This could have been a little thinner. We're just gonna keep that a cooking. So that's the first layer. Any questions so far? Super easy. It does take a little bit extra steps. You know, normally I'm just doing like a one, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my cleavage. Trying to get like a one pot, 1 or 2 ingredients. This has 1 or 2 ingredients, and they're all the same. We're using them over and over and over. So we got ground beef, we've got some ricotta cheese, some mozzarella cheese, I got some Parmesan cheese, and our marinara. Of course, we're making a lasagna. So the first layer was super easy, right? Oh, Nicole said that's how she makes her pizza crust too. It's very similar to the pizza crust I made last night. It really is, but it does not taste the same in this lasagna. Pam says she hasn't ate yet. Just meal prepping. Also cooked a petite sirloin steak, steamed asparagus. Now to decide which to eat. Oh my goodness. Sounds amazing. Marcy says she's not going, I'm not going in until 7,500 steps and 1,000 calories. That's awesome. So let me tell you what I've done. Rachel's doing the stuffed chicken breast and asparagus. Patrice, I'm sorry, is saying she needed that lasagna recipe. So far today, I've only gotten 3,700 steps. So I got some stepping to do myself. As soon as I get this in the oven to melt all the cheese together, I'm going to go outside and walk, or I'm going to walk around my kitchen until I get my 10,000 steps. So you go, girl. We'll do it together. All right, to remind you guys, before I move on to my second layer of the lasagna, anybody who buys a challenge box from me in the month of March is going into a door prize to win more ketones or another gift. Anyone who purchases a 10-day challenge. So you could be a brand new customer or a customer who wants a new variety box. Anyone who purchases the 10-day challenge kit will be in my free prize drawing for the month of March. This is just one of the amazing flavors. Now, the challenge kit is a variety of flavors that they put in a box, and they don't tell us which ones come, so it changes up a bit. You don't know if you're going to get this one, if you're going to get strawberry peach, or if you're going to get both. But the challenge box is a sale for all new customers. So if you've been thinking about Keto Nat and you just haven't done it yet, let me know. Just put challenge in the comments, and I'm going to send you information on how to get started with the challenge box or trial packs. So if you want information on that, put challenge in the comments. And let's move on to layer 2 of my lasagna. So the first layer was super easy. 4 ounces of cream cheese softened, 2 large eggs or 2 eggs, a cup and a half of mozzarella, and a teaspoon of Italian. Mix it up, put it in the oven, very thin layer on parchment paper or a 9x13. Let me check that out real quick before I start on my second layer. Ooh, they're looking and smelling good. So the second layer is my meat. So I've got 2 pounds of ground beef that I have drained. I'm gonna stick it back over here in my pan so we can mix our ingredients together for the meat mixture, or the meat layer. So what I'm gonna do is put a layer of the noodle, and then I'm gonna put some meat, and then a layer of ricotta cheese sauce that is amazing for lasagna. So I've got my ground beef in here, and we're gonna add some marinara and some Italian seasonings. So let me put this back on here so I don't go crazy with Italian. So I always put Italian because I love Italian. So we want just a little bit of Italian in our ground beef, and then we're gonna use our marinara. So this week I have left over my, I don't know how you say this, or I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't know how do you say it. I've never tried to Google this one. I'm going to have to Google it. I love the Victoria brand. It is very cheap compared to Rayo's or any other low carb that I have found. Very low carb, the same carb count as Rayo's, which we know is almost $8 a jar. Delicious. I love Rayo's. I still buy it, but I like to shop cheaper sometimes. So it depends on my recipe. I have not used this one for the lasagna. I do recommend Lucini or Rayo's. This one is a spicy marinara. Let me show it to you. It actually says spicy marinara. So it is going to be delicious. I've never made a spicy lasagna. So Ricky, I'm going to knock you out. So this one's a spicy lasagna or spicy marinara. You'll see the carb count. So it's got 6 total carbs, 1 fiber. So that means 5 net carbs per half cup. So it's the same carb count as Rayo's, over half the price. So, or less than half the price. All right, so I've got 2 pounds of ground beef, and I know this is spicy, so I'm just gonna pour it in. I like a lot of sauce in my lasagna. So we're pouring the rest of this jar in there. It's probably a good 2.5 cups. Yes, it's gonna be spicy lasagna. I'm excited. Hey, Jacob or Casey, I'm not sure who's watching, Jacob and Casey. Hey, Melody, how are you? I see Janice, I'm sorry. I've run across some names today. Hey, Angela, how are you? Teresa, Nicole, how are you guys doing? Crystal, what are you doing for dinner tonight that's low carb or keto friendly? We're making an awesome lasagna. This is the best lasagna I've ever cooked, and I love lasagnas, and I've done a lot of different variations. This one's my favorite. So we've got our first layer in the oven. That's our noodle. We're making the meat sauce now. So I've got my ground beef. I did 2 pounds. I'm doubling this recipe. And we put in our marinara. You can use whatever low carb marinara you love. I put a little bit of Italian. And that's pretty much it. That's my meat layer. Super easy, right?
Well, why I ain't done?
You get out of here. Ooh, that's going to be good. I can smell the spices already, y'all. Now, you can add a little bit of garlic powder to this if you want to. Look, actually, I am going to put a little bit of onion powder, so I want to. A little bit of onion powder, because you can actually put onions in this, but I don't want to take the time to chop it up. I'm also going to put some garlic powder just because I want to. A little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, my marinara. I'm just stirring it up now. And this is going to be the meat layer. What are you doing back there?
Eating.
Ricky's snacking on cheese sticks.
Keto, ain't
Yes, keto.
Right,
Keep on snacking, baby. Keep on snacking.
Hush.
All right.
Cool.
So we're just stirring this up.
Well, let's talk more cooking.
I guess I'll whip you in the butt, or all these people can see you trying to talk sassy to me. Y'all know better. Y'all seen him. He's trying to be sassy. All right, so we've got our meat sauce ready. I'm just cutting it up so I'm looking big lumps. All right, I'm gonna throw that over to the side. Now the last layer. Whoops. The last layer is also super simple. So I've got me a bowl. We're gonna do 2 cups of ricotta because I'm doubling this. If you're only using 1 pound of ground beef, you're gonna use 1 cup of ricotta. Get another spoon, what do I do with it? So, let's see, that's about, yeah, I'm gonna have to measure this out. There's probably a whole cup in here. Yep, that's about a cup. I'm gonna throw that in here. And this is a whole 15 ounces. I'm just gonna throw it all in there. Maybe I should. Maybe I better test it. I'll measure it. I don't wanna get too crazy. I love the cheese layer though, don't y'all? So if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and put them in the comments. If you want information on that challenge box to get my free prize for March, put that in the comments. Just write challenge. I'll send you some information. It's on sale for new customers. If you're a returning customer. Huh?
Free Donut Wednesday. That's keto.
Free donut Wednesday. They're announcing that on TV.
Yep.
That's sad, y'all. You can make some keto donuts.
Yep. We're going to eat some at Free Dunkin' Donuts.
They don't have keto at
Yes, they
Dunkin'
do.
Donuts. No,
Just pop it in your mouth.
No. No, we don't like to pretend. All right, so I got 2 cups of ricotta cheese. I'm doubling this. All right.
You want some wine?
Wine? Yeah, I'll take a...
No, it's not keto.
Shut up. All right, and then we're going to do some Parmesan cheese. Because I'm doubling this, I'm doing a whole cup of Parmesan.
You want to pour my pour is different. You want a winky pour or a grown man pour?
I don't want a grown man pour. Pour it, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Do you want a grown man pour? Or do you want
I want you to pour it, and I'll tell you
Do
when to
you
stop.
want a winky pour?
That's a winky there. All right, so I've got my ricotta cheese, I've got my Parmesan cheese, and now we're going to add 1 egg. Actually, I'm going to do 2 eggs because I'm doubling this. Probably should put this in a bigger bowl. No, you can't have the rest of this. Goofy. I will.
Just what you did.
Yep, that's a winky pour.
That's a winky pour. I'm going to show you a grown man pour.
No, don't be drinking all that one. That's my favorite new
I
wine.
don't care. You go by your nose.
I want to show y'all this new wine I bought this weekend. I absolutely love it. Where's my paper towel? All right, and then we're going to do a big tablespoon of Italian seasoning. So this layer has quite a bit more Italian.
I poured a winky
Oh,
pour.
I'm going to check my oven.
Poured a winky pour.
All right, so this is getting there. You'll see it's a little browned around the edges. You see that? But I can tell it's not firm enough yet. I'm going to put it back in.
That's sweet, Amy.
It's not sweet. It's not sweet. Put it back on.
Yeah. Good luck. I know, we don't waste liquor.
He's an idiot. Okay, so a big tablespoon of Italian. You can actually do 2 if you want to. I'm going to. Alright, so that's 1, 2, and I'm almost out of Italian again. Love some Italian. Alright, and a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And we're done with this 3rd layer. So yes, I'm making a mess. Same, very few ingredients. We're just using them over and over for each level or each layer of the lasagna. There's a little salt and pepper to taste. And we're going to mix this up. While I'm mixing this up, let me show y'all the new wine I got this weekend. It's really good. It is a semi-sweet, so it does have a little bit of sugar. So a semi-sweet I learned this weekend at the winery is anything that is considered 2.5 residual sugars. And dry is under 2. And then anything above, I can't remember now. Anyway, it's semi-sweet. So let me push it.
Dry.
Where's it at?
I put it up.
Now, I personally love Century Farms here in Jackson, Tennessee, but I got this one from Crown Winery, and it's really good. It's called Vino Buono.
Vino Buono.
It is a semi-sweet, so it's not extra dry. It does have some carbs in it. Most semi-sweets have, 3 to 4 carbs per glass, depending on, how sweet that semi-sweet is. This is one of the drier red wines. It's not dry, though. And, a little baby cup ain't gonna hurt. It's very, very good. Let me get it out of the way. All right, see if you guys have any questions real quick before I mix up this last layer. All right, Tanya says, hey, Amy, I'm making carnivore mozzarella sticks. Yum. With bacon wrapped around it and garlic green beans. I love the carnivore meat sticks. Stephanie said her husband just asked for lasagna. Look, guys, I'm telling you, it's meant to be. Hey, Naomi, how are you? All right, girls, I hope you're having a great day. If you love lasagna, give me some hearts. If this sounds good to you, like I love lasagna, share this video so we can show other people how easy it is to whip up a keto-friendly meal that your family will absolutely love. My daughter has asked me a million times today, what are you cooking for dinner? What are you cooking for dinner? And I told her lasagna. So that's what we're cooking. Melody says, am I fasting all day with your keto nat and just eating dinner still? I have a hard time doing that. So Melody, just depends. Today I didn't because my aunt made some keto egg salad that was delicious. I've never had an egg salad before. It was really, really good. So I had that for lunch. Most days I'm so crazy wild at work that I generally do not eat lunch, not because I'm fasting on purpose, but I'm not hungry and I'm busy, so I just keep on working. But if I have a lunch, it is a 0 carb or 1 to 2 carbs. So generally throughout a day for me, my carb counts are, between 15 and 20. I rarely ever go over 25. Most days I don't even get to 25, and that depends on if I'm having a low carb wine. So if I do purposely fast, then yes, I drink 2 keto nats a day. I'll drink 1 in the morning when I get going. Like this morning, I didn't even start till 10. It was nuts this morning. But most mornings I'll have 1 between 8 and 8:30 to get started. And then if I was doing an all-day fast until dinner, I might have another one around 2:30, 3 o'clock. That's if I need it. Today I did because I had a new flavor come in that was so good. But most days I don't do 2 unless I truly am trying to fast for the day. Nicole says grown man pour. I'm telling you, he always asks, I want a wimpy pour or a grown man pour. It's always a wimpy pour for me. Hey Sarah, how are you? I hope you're doing great. I really have missed all my friends. Hey Kim, I don't get to see all of you live all the time. So Sarah's doing egg salad is one of her go-to meals for the week. So my aunt made an egg salad. I've never had egg salad before. I love tuna salad. She likes chicken salad all the time, but the egg salad was so good. And I'm gonna have to get a recipe from her, and I guarantee you she's gonna say, well, I don't know, I'll just mix it together. But I know she had egg, I know she had mayonnaise and mustard. She did put a teaspoon of pickle relish in there to get a little sweetness. She had bacon, cheddar cheese. Oh my gosh, y'all, it was so good. It was delicious. Hey Mary, how are you? I see Allison on here. Let me check that oven one more time before we move forward. Oh yes, now this is looking pretty. It is browning around the edge. Whoop. This is my noodle layer. So it is browning around the edges. It's not brown on this side yet, so I'm gonna flip it around in my oven, cook it a few more minutes. We want it firm and not squishy. I mean, this really could be it, but I'm gonna cook it a few more minutes. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Woo, it's hot. All right, so I've got 2 of those in there because we are making double the recipe. And let's jump back to our 3rd layer. The 3rd layer is my ricotta cheese layer. And I've got, because I'm doubling it, I've got 2 cups of ricotta cheese. I have 2 eggs. I have a cup of Parmesan cheese and 2 big tablespoons of Italian dressing, or Italian seasoning, and a little salt and pepper to taste. And I'm just mixing this up, and this is gonna be my ricotta cheese layer. So I've got my noodles cooking. I've got my meat over here in some marinara, a low-carb marinara, a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder I think I put in there, and some Italian seasoning, because, I mean, the more Italian, the better, right? So, lasagna. All right. Hey, Teresa, how are you? So what are y'all doing for dinner tonight that's low-carb or keto-friendly? And what questions do you have for me while we're mixing up our lasagna layers? After we get these noodles cooked, we're going to let them cool just a minute. And I'm going to take a little pizza slicer and we're going to make strips just like you would. It's going to look just like a lasagna. It tastes so good. My daughter loves it. My husband loved it last time I made it. And look at that. It smells so good. I love a good ricotta cheese. So that's a lot of ricotta cheese. I may not use all this. Now you get to control the carb counts in this lasagna. So the noodles, very little carb at all. The ricotta cheese, however, does have carbs. So the ricotta cheese, my ricotta cheese, I of course buy full fat ricotta cheese if you're gonna buy some. This has 3 carbs in a 4th cup, and I use 2 cups. So, that's where your carbs are gonna get in. You're not eating the whole lasagna by yourself though. You're not eating the whole thing tonight anyway by yourself. So you can divide that out into however many pieces you cut your lasagna. Susan said, what did you put in the noodles? So my noodles is 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, 1.5 cups of mozzarella, and 2 eggs, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. That's it. 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, a 1.5 cups mozzarella, a teaspoon of Italian, and 2 eggs. Mix it up really good and make it really thin on a 9x13 parchment paper or a baking sheet, but spread it as thin as you can so it cooks really thin, like a thin noodle. One side of mine, I can tell I cooked it I didn't thin it out enough. And that's my layers. So I'm gonna let those cool, cut it up. I'm gonna layer a bottom, and then I'm gonna put my meat sauce, my ricotta cheese, another layer, meat sauce, ricotta cheese, a little mozzarella on top, and I'm good. I'm gonna stick it in the oven, let those cheese melt really good, and it's gonna be delicious. All right. Hey, Janet, how are you? So, do you guys have any questions for me? I'm going to jump off here since I've already made all of my layers. We're just waiting on the noodles to finish and cool. And I'm going to jump off here so I can get some steps in. I only have 3,700 and I want to get 10. So I want to do that and watch Netflix tonight. So I got to get busy. I am here to answer any questions you guys have, so put them in the comments. If you want information on the challenge box or the trial packs, put challenge in the comments and I'm going to send you some information. Anyone who purchases a challenge box from me in the month of March is entered into my free prize for the month of March, which probably will be more ketones. So everyone who buys these loves them. So, I mean, if you buy them and get some more free, that's pretty awesome. Melody wants to know, do I have a calorie count? I honestly don't, Melody, because I pretty much am pretty happy with where I'm at. Now, when I was in the midst of losing and I hit a plateau, then yes, I would look and just make sure I'm kind of making sense with how many calories I have, but I primarily just watch my carb counts. I still have not lost what I gained in 2020. I still have it. I have been walking and I've been monitoring my carb counts and I have drank less, believe it or not. And I'm not an alcoholic. I hope y'all don't think that. I just love my new kitchen. I love my wine cooler. And we had a good time this weekend celebrating my sister-in-law. But I did go from drinking once a week on my date night to drinking 2 to 3 nights a week because I just love my new wine cooler and I love drinking wine with my husband. So one glass like this size. So I did back off that when I hit a plateau. But right now I'm just honestly watching those carb counts. So calories really don't make a difference. Now, as far as someone new, guys, don't focus on calories because if you're new, you're genuinely and will automatically eat less food. When you change keto, you're going to start craving foods different. Let me check out my oven real quick. Woo, it's done. All right, so this one's done. We're gonna let this sit out and cool off, and then I can go ahead and start my layers. But when you first start, you're naturally going to eat less because your cravings are gonna change. What you eat, those high healthy fats are gonna help keep you guys from feeling like you need food. So don't worry about calories in the beginning. The only time you really need to worry about calories is if you hit that stall. When you hit that stall, you do want to look at your calorie counts. You do want to look at, the carbs, not the carbs, but the flours you're eating, the sweeteners you're eating, the cheese you're eating. You have to back off those things to jumpstart back, unless you use something like, the challenge kit that will jumpstart you back into ketosis and moving again. All right. So Sarah said she missed it. The challenge box is just a variety flavor. For anyone who hasn't purchased before, you get a sale as a new customer when you buy a challenge box. If you have bought before, it's just a way to get back in there and get some variety of flavors to get you started again. And anyone who buys a challenge box this month from me is going to be in my free drawing. So thank you, Emily. I will enjoy myself. Nicole, I hope you guys have had a great day. I love Mondays. Am I 100% happy with where I'm at right now? I'm very happy. Am I 100% there? Of course not. I mean, I want to get back in my shorts that I wore last summer or the summer before. 2020 just sucked all the way around. I mean, I want to get back there, but am I going to stress about it? No. Do I feel like struggling over it? No. I'm very happy with where I am. So if you're not on that place of truly needing to hit that goal, like if you're pushing yourself to hit a goal, then definitely watch how many calories you eat. This is not a calorie counting diet. Keto is not a calorie counting diet because you naturally will eat less because of the ketones and the craving of foods. But a lot of people will overdo keto foods. So you have to look at those sweet treats you're eating and how many calories are in those fat bombs. So keep that in mind. All right, any other questions, guys? I hope I gave you an answer and helped others who are getting more started. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you will share this video, if you love lasagna, then you definitely will love this recipe. Share this video so you can go back and look at it later. And I think I'm gonna jump off here. I hope I showed you enough in the lasagna. We got our layers, we got the noodles, we got our meat layer and our ricotta cheese layer. And I'm just gonna top it off with some mozzarella cheese and we are done. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. I'm gonna get some steps in. See ya, bye.